Hey guys, Jen here, and today we are going to be making the new s'mores banner. It's a puff banner, and we do have like a universal PDF on how to do this. We have a blog post on how to use puff, but I thought maybe a quick video on showing how to do puff and applique might be helpful for you guys. So make sure you have your pattern ready to go. We are going to be using Cutaway, which is my preferred stabilizer for banners. It just gives the banner some extra weight and it doesn't have that crunchy sound of tearaway. And then I've pre-prepped my applique piece with Heat and Bond Light. You'll want to do that for if you're using fabric, you'll want to do that. If you're using felt on felt, then probably not. I have two pieces of felt. This felt is wool blend felt by Benzie. It's one of my favorite felts, been using it for years. And then I have sew-in foam by Pellon. You could also use embroidery foam or foam from the craft store. So go ahead and get your stuff together and hoop up your cutaway. And then I'm gonna go ahead and run step one, the full placement stitch. Okay, so I went ahead and ran step one, and all the steps on these banners, especially the puff banners, the basic steps are all the same. So placement, then we're going to do the foam, and then we'll work from there. So once you have your placement ran, the next step is going to be to tack down your foam. You could also skip the foam if you don't want it. It's not a big deal. If you don't, just skip step two. But you're going to place your foam, make sure it covers all of your placement lines. And then step two is going to run the tack down, which is a tighter tack down stitch. It's 2 times. And that's because if you use craft foam, it's easier to rip it off. I am using sew-in foam because it's thicker and I want this to be more poofy. So we're going to run step two and I'll be right back. Okay, so we ran step two, which tacked your foam into place. If you're using embroidery foam at this point, you could make a slit here, and then you could tear off the excess foam. But because I'm using sew-in, we're going to have to cut it. And my favorite scissors to use to cut down foam or batting are just cheap kid scissors from Amazon. I bought these in bulk for a class, and now everybody has them. But these are not going to cut into your stabilizer, but they're good enough to cut a thin piece of fabric or this foam very easily. So if you're cutting a piece of fabric against batting, this is what you want to go with. Okay, so the foam is cut, and now we're going to place our top piece of felt. So you're going to place this covering all of the placement stitches. The next step is going to tack your felt in place. Some of the other banners do not have a tack down step, and that's just to keep it from having too much stitching on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and run the next step, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have our top felt tacked down into place. So the next step is going to do our applique on the top of the chocolate. So the next step is going to run a placement stitch for your applique. You could easily just run this tack down, run the placement, all together. You don't have to stop. So I'm going to go ahead and run the placement, and then we'll come back and we'll place our fabric. Okay, so we have our placement for the applique. So this is chocolate here. So I have my chocolate fabric prepped with Heat and Bond Light. And that is because I want to adhere this to the felt. It'll keep it nice and crisp. It will prevent it from pulling out of the seams when you trim for your applique. So you're going to take the backing off the Heat and Bond. Again, if you're using felt on felt, this isn't necessary. You're going to place your fabric covering all of the placement stitches. And then the next step is going to tack your fabric into place. Okay, so our fabric is tacked into place. And what you want to pay attention to if you're on a single needle machine, this might not be a thing on a multi-needle because your foot does not drag on your project. Because we're using foam, it's higher loft. So my foot was dragging trying to tack this into place and it made the fabric shift. So I stopped, picked it out, raised the foot height on my machine, and then made sure that I was kind of holding this so it would not pucker. So that's something to look out for. Then you're going to trim your applique, and the Heat and Bond Light is going to make this also a lot easier. You can get a lot closer to the edge with that adhesive on there. So you'll get a clean cut and you won't have any of the fabric pulling out into your satin stitches. Being a little more gentle because these scissors do get caught on the felt. It would be ideal to use those kid scissors, but they just do not get as close to the edge as your regular embroidery scissors. So you want to trim along the outside also because the satin stitch is going to go around the entirety of the chocolate fabric. So make sure you get really close. Going to want to heat seal this or heat adhere this to the felt after we're all done. So you don't have to worry about that until we're done. Okay, so I'm just going to trim up these little bits here. So the next step is going to run the satin for the chocolate. Now, if you're using something even more fuzzy, you would probably want to use water soluble stabilizer over your design. This felt particularly, I don't have a problem with that, so I'm not going to use it. But if you're worried that the nap of whatever you're using is going to pull up or could possibly pull into your satin, you'll want to cover with water soluble. So I'm going to go ahead and run the satin and we'll be right back. Okay, so we have our satin stitch done. So pretty. There. Okay, so the next two steps are the eyes, nose, and the cheeks. So I'm going to go ahead and run those together just to save some time. So I'll run those and then we'll come back and we'll discuss the back of the banner. Okay, so we ran the eyes and the cheeks, super cute. So we have two more steps left. So on every banner, the step before the back goes on is the step that creates the holes for your ribbon to slide through. It's basically the decorative stitching on the front of your banner. So that will not be on the underside, so it gives you the hole to go through. So the next step is going to run right here. You're stitching here, and that creates the space for your ribbon. And then we will attach the back. So I'm going to run that step and then I'll be back and we'll finish it up. Okay, so here's the decorative stitching. This is a bean stitch here, a bean stitch there. So you're going to turn it over to the back side and you're going to place your second piece of felt covering all of your stitches. And I use tape to hold this into place. This is just medical tape, transport tape, I think they call it on Amazon. I also have the sulky version, which honestly is better, but it's more expensive. So it just depends on your budget. So you're going to go ahead and tape this into place. And then the last step is going to run the whole outline of your banner, but it's going to skip those two spots that we ran in the previous step. So right here will be empty of stitching. So I'm going to go ahead and run the final step and I'll be right back. Okay, so final stitching is complete. So you can see on the back side here, this is where the ribbon will go through. So there's no stitching there. So we're going to go ahead and remove it from the hoop. And if you use tearaway, you're going to want to pull the tearaway around from the outside. Use cutaway. We're going to cut it away. A lot of the girls like to use pinking shears. There's like a scallopy one that's really cute. I probably should get a pair of those. So you want to cut. I leave about this like an eighth of an inch seam allowance. You can do whatever you like, but an eighth is typically looks nice. I'm gonna trim around the outside here. Now, because I used wool blend felt, this can be ironed. You do not need to cover it because it is a blend. If you use acrylic felt, you have to cover it with a piece. Just use a piece of cotton fabric, cover it, and then you can iron it on like a medium heat. Where this, I can just go ahead and iron. And I am going to iron it because when I iron it, it's going to take any wrinkles out of the felt, but it's also going to fuse the chocolate fabric to the felt. So it's going to make it more crisp. So I'm going to do that and be right back. Okay, so we're all ironed. You can see any kind of wrinkling I had is out because now the fabric is fused to the felt with the heat and bond. Again, this is Benzie wool blend felt. It is my favorite. It just looks so good. So if you can afford the little bit of splurge, I would definitely go with that felt. So on the back side, I have twine. It's looped through a purple thing, which will help get it through your banner piece. You're going to take your purple thing and you're going to slide it. Here's the hole. Slide it through the 2 holes here and pull your ribbon through. So you'll string up all your banner pieces this way. So there you see, there is your banner piece. Okay, so you still have nice stitching on top, and then you have the space on the back. So there you go. And then you see some samples on our website. Use a little bit of fabric, zhuzh it up however you want, pair things together. And that's that. I hope you enjoy.